Serious injuries can happen at any time and any place, which can instantly affect somebody's life. There are times when the insurance policy that's in play just isn't enough to cover the damages on your case. Today we're going to talk about some ways that you can handle that. If you do run into one of these situations where the insurance policy isn't enough to compensate you for your damages, you do have the ability to sue the at-fault driver. Essentially, the court says that if the at-fault driver has assets that go above and beyond just their primary mode of living, for example, vacation homes, boats, extra property, that they should have the assets to be able to pay you for your damages. Before you can recover those assets, though, you have to go through litigation and a trial. If you win at trial, the insurance company will still have to pay. The hitch to that is they're only going to have to pay up to the limits of their policy. Anything in the judgment that goes beyond those limits is called the excess verdict, and that's the amount that the individual would be responsible for. Without that excess verdict, you don't have the right then to go forward and sue for any personal property that person may have that can satisfy that judgment and bridge the gap between your damages. So the next question you may ask is, what assets can be seized? Even if you get an excess verdict against the defendant, they still have certain rights and certain exemptions they could make against their property. For example, their primary residence cannot be seized. You also won't be able to seize their primary vehicle or mode of transportation. For other non-essential property, for example, like a vacation home, that judgment needs to be filed in every county where the defendant owns real estate. Also, since the defendant isn't going to be forced to sell that property right away, this judgment needs to be renewed every 10 years to remain in effect. The judgment gives you a lien on the property, and when that property is voluntarily sold, you'll get a portion of those proceeds after any mortgage that's due on the property is paid off. If there are smaller assets of the defendant that can be executed on, for example, cars, trucks, boats, the sheriff in that county can be used to seize the property. Now, you won't get the full value of the property because the sheriff gets a percentage of those sales. If you've been injured and you feel there's a risk of not recovering the full extent of your damages, give us a call. At James Scott Farrin, we try to do everything we can to get you the result you deserve and make sure that the insurance company is doing what they should. We have the resources and the ability to help you through this. Give us a call. We're here to help.